You call his name and he tilts his head. You say, "Come here," and he runs halfway to you, then suddenly stops to sniff a fascinating blade of grass. You throw the ball, and he chases it with pure joy, but then refuses to bring it back. Classic dog right. But what if I told you that behind that happy tail wag and that playful, sometimes stubborn stare, your dog is picking up on far more than you think? This video is about the 6 words your dog actually understands, confirmed by real science and behaviorists. Before we dive into those words, let me ask you something. Something that isn't about this channel, but everything about your bond with your dog. If you want to deepen the connection between you and your dog, not just through treats or commands, but through trust, understanding, and emotional clarity, then stick around. Because when more people learn how dogs truly communicate, more dogs out, there will feel calmer, safer, and truly seen, especially as they grow older and need us more than ever. And if you are here watching this, I know you are exactly that kind of person. So let's begin. Because while dogs may not speak our language, they are listening closer than we think. Number 1, their own name, the sound of belonging. You say it the same way every morning. Maybe it is whispered when you first wake up and see them stretching. Maybe it is sung as a silly little joke while you make coffee. Maybe it is called out excitedly when dinner hits the bowl. But no matter how it leaves your lips, his name is not just a sound to him. It is a signal. It is a story. It is a thread connecting his heart directly to yours. Researchers have confirmed that dogs recognize their own names not just as random noise, but as familiar music. Even in a crowded room full of chatter, his ears will catch it. That is why using his name with intention is everything. Call him gently. Say it when your heart is soft. Say it like it is a blessing, because to him, it is the sound of his identity within your pack. Now let's talk about the words that make paws shuffle tails, thump, and hearts beat faster. The ones you have said 1,000 times without knowing they were a spell. Number 2, food words. The ritual of anticipation. You don't even have to say it sometimes. Sometimes it is just the sound of a cabinet creaking open. Sometimes it is the rattle of the kibble bag. Other times it is just the subtle shift in your footsteps near the kitchen that sends him trotting, an eyes wide tail, already wagging like a metronome, set to pure joy. But then there are the words treat, dinner. Are you hungry? To us, they are just syllables we have repeated out of habit. But to your dog, those words are music scored to routine memory and profound reward. Over days, weeks, and years, they become sacred. They become predictable. They mean something good is coming. And in a world where so much is out of a dog's control, that kind of certainty feels like magic. It is not about grammar. Dogs don't care about sentence structure. It is about association. Say the same word the same way before every meal and watch what happens. His body learns it before his mind even finishes processing it. Pupils dilate. Breath quickens. He vibrates with hope. You have spoken not just to his ears, but to his deepest instincts. But there is a delicate balance here. Use the word too casually. Toss it into conversations that don't lead to food, and the thread phrase. The magic fades. It is like ringing a dinner bell without ever opening the door. That is why intention matters. Say it when you mean it. Say it with joy in your tone and rhythm in your step. Let the word become a promise, one you keep every single time. Because for him, food isn't just nourishment. It is love made visible. And your voice, when paired with that moment, becomes part of the ritual. But not every word is soft and sweet. Some are firm, necessary, and protective. And one in particular, when used the right way, can become the quiet guardian of boundaries. You know the word. Let's talk about it. Number 3. No. The gentle wall that guides. There is a moment you have lived 100 times. You walk into the kitchen, and he is already halfway onto the counter. Pause, outstretched eyes, filled with wild curiosity about what you are cooking. Or maybe he is chewing the corner of your favorite book tale, thumping, totally unaware that he is unraveling more than just paper. And then from your lips comes the word no. It is short, sharp, barely a breath. But when used right, that word doesn't bruise. It guides. Like a low fence in a beautiful garden, it says, you can explore everywhere, but not here. Unlike dogs, trained to perform for a show, our companions at home don't respond to orders out of duty. They respond out of relationship. And no, when used with calm consistency, becomes a kind of compass. Not a punishment, a pause, a redirection. You see, dogs don't understand no because it is a word in the dictionary. They understand it when your energy, your tone, and your actions all point in the same direction. Say it softly, but firmly. Move with intention and follow through. Lift him down from the counter. Redirect the chewing to a toy. Block the behavior with your body, not your anger. When you repeat this dance-firm word, gentle action, consistent outcome, he begins to map it. His brain doesn't hear rejection. It registers structure. It registers safety. And from that, safety trust grows. But if no becomes chaos, yelled in frustration, tossed around without meaning, followed by nothing but silence, then it becomes just another sound in the storm. Confusing. Empty. Lost. So use it like you would use a handrail for an older friend. Steady. Supportive. Never shaming. Because where there are boundaries, there can also be freedom. And speaking of freedom, there is another kind of word. One that opens doors instead of closing them. Words tied to objects, routines, and choices. The quiet language of daily life. The words he learns not because you train him, but because you live them together. Let's walk into that world next. Number 4. Routine. Words. The language of daily life. There are words you don't think twice about. Walk. Leash. Outside. Bed. Car. Simple syllables tossed into the rhythm of your day like stones into still water. But your dog feels every ripple. He isn't just memorizing sounds. He is mapping moments. Say, walk. And you might not even finish the word before he is already by the door, spinning in circles, stirring the air like a flag in the wind. Whisper, bed, and watch how his paws shift. His body softens. His breath slows. It is as if your voice itself became a lullaby. This isn't obedience. It is recognition. These routine words don't just signal what is next. They become anchors, markers of time, little landmarks in the emotional landscape you have built together. And over time, your dog learns that certain sounds mean more than action. They mean comfort. They mean connection. They mean belonging. What is most beautiful is how it happens without force. You say brush and lift the comb slowly, gently, while he leans in, not because he has been trained like a soldier, but because he has learned this moment is tender, familiar, safe. And yet, as always, consistency is the spell. Use the word the same way, at the same time, with the same rhythm, and it grows roots in his memory. Say toy and bring joy. Say car and mean an adventure. Say nap and mean stillness, not chaos. Routine words are more than just tools for direction. They are invisible threads in the fabric of shared life. But then there are the rarest of words, not tied to food, not tied to structure, not even tied to ritual. These are the words you say with your heart wide open. Words that carry no command, only feeling. They may sound ordinary to the rest of the world, but to your dog, they ring like bells in a quiet church. Let's talk about those. Number 5, emotional words. When language becomes love. There are words you say without thinking. Come here. Good boy. I love you. Maybe you whisper them while tying your shoes, or murmur them when he curls beside you at night, his warmth pressing against your leg. You say them in the quiet spaces of your day, soft, almost accidental. But to your dog, those words are anything but small. They are the warmth in your voice, the stillness in your breath, the slowing of your hands when you reach for him. Not to command, not to train, but to connect. These emotional words aren't learned through repetition alone. They are felt. Say, come here, and kneel palms open. It isn't a command. It is an invitation. He sees your body soften. He hears the steadiness in your tone. And in that moment, he doesn't just hear words. He senses home. Over time, phrases like, I love you, buddy, or even a nickname said in a certain way become sacred. Not because he understands their dictionary meaning, but because you have wrapped them in consistency, affection, and peace. They become your signature, unique, private, sacred, a sound only he responds to because only you say it like that. But there is a catch. These words carry weight. Use them carelessly, and they float away like smoke. Say them with tension in your voice, and they tremble instead of comfort. Say them in a rush, and they lose their power. Speak them slowly. Mean them fully. Let them land like a hand resting gently on his chest. Because when you speak from love, your dog doesn't just hear you. He feels you. And that is the true miracle of canine communication. Now let's go even deeper. Because understanding the words is one thing, but understanding the silence that follows, that is where real mastery begins. Number 6, the language of silence, how dogs respond without words. You say the word. Maybe it is, come here. Maybe it is, love you. Maybe it is his name spoken like a question wrapped in hope, and he doesn't move. He stays where he is, gazing at you with those soft, ancient eyes. And you think nothing happened. You think, he's ignoring me. But oh, something did happen. Because dogs don't always answer in the language of motion. Sometimes they reply with stillness, a blink, a breath held just a moment longer, a pause in the rhythm of their grooming, the faintest flick of an ear in your direction. Their silence is not absence, it is presence in its most subtle form. To a dog, I hear you, doesn't always look like a tail wag or a rush to your side. It can be a slow glance, a quiet exhale, a shift in weight that says, I'm here, I trust you, but I am comfortable right where I am. And in those moments, he is not disobeying. He is deciding, not because he is stubborn, but because he has agency. Because your relationship is a partnership, not a performance. We miss so much by expecting dogs to speak only in human ways, to react instantly, to perform on command. We forget that their silence might be filled with understanding, that their stillness might be speaking louder than action ever could. So next time he doesn't come when called, don't repeat yourself louder. Don't assume he is ignoring you. Watch his eyes. Notice the angle of his head. Feel the breath he takes in that small pocket of time. That is his answer. And if you listen, really listen, you will start to hear the beauty of this unspoken language. You will start to notice the places where his silence is saying, I am listening. I just need a moment. And when you honor that, everything changes. Because now, you aren't just talking at your dog. You are finally speaking with him. You don't need to become a trainer. You just need to become more present, to speak slower, softer, with more intention. And watch how your dog begins to respond. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. Because when a dog trusts your voice, he doesn't just listen. He connects. He leans in. He chooses you. So tonight, before the day slips away, say his name like it matters. Whisper the phrase, only he knows. Let him hear you, not with volume, but with truth. He has been listening all along. I want to invite you to do something special right now. Go down to the comments section and type your dog's name. Just their name. Let's create a massive wall of tribute to the listeners, the silent guardians, the best friends who understand us better than anyone else. I'll be reading through them and sending love to every single one. Thank you for watching, and give your pup a gentle scratch from me.